Got to watch every Eala as well. She has made her debut here over the last couple of years, and she's won some matches here. Out of all the clay tournaments, this might be her best, her favorite.
The Madrid Open 2026 draws are out, and one name is dominating every single conversation in the expert circles right now. That name is Alex Eala. Now, before you say anything, yes, we know she has had some tough tournaments recently, but hear us out because the experts are not just casually mentioning her name. They are going Allen. And when you look at the draw, when you look at the circumstances, when you look at everything surrounding this tournament for her specifically, you will completely understand why. So, let us break this down properly, because this story deserves every single second of your attention. Let us start with the draw itself, because that is where this entire conversation began. When the Madrid Open draw was released, the experts immediately started analyzing every section, every quarter, every potential matchup. And when they got to Alex Eala's side of the bracket, the reaction was immediate. She opens against a qualifier in the first round. Now, some people might look past that and say, well, of course, she should handle a qualifier. But in professional tennis, nothing is ever that simple. However, what came next in the draw is what really got the experts fired up. Her projected second-round opponent is Elise Mertens. And while Mertens is undoubtedly a quality player with a strong career behind her, the truth is that Mertens is not having the best time on tour right now either. She has been inconsistent, her form has dipped, and she is certainly not the most intimidating obstacle you could face in the second round of a Masters 1000 event. But wait, because it gets even better than that. When the experts looked deeper into Eala's side of the bracket, they noticed something significant. The competition on her half is comparatively lighter than what you see on the other side. There are no overwhelming favorites stacked right in her path in the early rounds. The draw has opened up in a way that gives her a genuine realistic path to clearing 3 rounds, maybe even more. And that is not something you can say about every tournament. The experts are not making things up here. They are looking at the bracket, they're doing the math. And they're saying that getting through 3 rounds in Madrid 2026 is absolutely not a problem for Alex Eala given these conditions. When established tennis analysts start clamoring for a player's name after studying a draw, you have to take notice, and right now they are all saying the same thing. Eala's draw is favorable, and she has every tool to take advantage of it. She was serving aces massively the other day, and yeah, she's very, very dangerous. Now, let us talk about something that goes beyond just the draw, because what makes this story even more compelling is the specific tournament we are talking about. Madrid is not just any tournament for Alex Eala. It is not just another clay court event on the calendar. Madrid is personal. Madrid is special, and everyone in the tennis community who has followed her journey knows exactly why. Alex Eala has been training at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca since she was a child. Spain is not just a foreign country where she shows up to compete. Spain is her second home. She grew up there. She developed her game there. She learned the sport in that culture on those clay courts under that sun. When she walks onto the courts in Madrid, she is not walking into enemy territory. She is coming home. And that home court energy is real. It translates. When a player feels comfortable in their environment, when the crowd feels familiar, when the surroundings feel natural rather than foreign, it removes a layer of mental pressure that most players carry without even realizing it. For Eala, Madrid strips that away completely. She plays with freedom there. She plays with joy. She plays like someone who has nothing to fear. And in tennis, that mindset is everything. Speaking of no pressure, let us address another massive factor that the experts keep bringing up. Alex Eala does not have any points to defend at this year's Madrid Open. 0. That means she walks onto every court in this tournament with house money. Every single win is a bonus. Every single point she earns goes straight into her rankings column as pure profit. There is no weight of expectation sitting on her shoulders from a previous result she has to match or surpass. She can go Allen. She can play aggressive, fearless, attacking tennis without the mental burden of thinking about what happens to her ranking if she loses. That is such a freeing position to be in. And the best players in the world will tell you that playing without the pressure of defending points unlocks a completely different level of performance. For Eala, this tournament is a blank canvas, and she is holding every color. Now, let us look at her 2025 season as a whole, because this is where people need to get the full picture instead of just reacting to recent results. Yes, she has had 2 tournaments that did not go her way heading into Madrid. That is true, but here is what is also true. Her overall numbers this season, even with those 2 difficult outings, are already better than the same point in her breakout season last year. Think about what that means. Last year was the year everyone started talking about Alex Eala as a genuine force on the WTA Tour. Last year was when she announced herself to the world. And this year, even with some rough patches, she is tracking ahead of that pace. That is called growth. That is called development. That is a trajectory that should excite every single tennis fan. And let us not forget who she has beaten this season, because the names on her resume are not small names. She defeated Coco Gauff, one of the most exciting and dangerous players on the entire WTA Tour. A Grand Slam champion, a player who has been ranked #1 in the world. Beating Coco Gauff is not an accident. You do not stumble into a win over someone of that caliber. And then there is Seaman, one of the most notorious and experienced competitors on the WTA circuit. A player who has been around long enough to know every trick in the book and who has given countless top players serious trouble over the years. IA handled her too. These wins tell you something important about who Alexa is becoming as a player. The broader tennis world has taken notice as well. This is not just analysts and commentators getting excited. We are talking about legends of the sport weighing in. Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest players in the history of tennis, someone whose opinion carries enormous weight in every corner of the sport, has called Alex Eala the best tennis player to ever come from the Philippines. When Novak Djokovic is endorsing you, when he is specifically calling you out as the greatest from your nation, that is validation at the highest possible level. That is a stamp of approval from a man who has stood at the top of the tennis world for 2 decades and who understands greatness better than almost anyone alive. So when you pull all of this together, the favorable draw, the lighter bracket, Mertens struggling, no points to defend, Madrid as her second home, training with Rafael Nadal on clay, a season that is statistically ahead of her own breakout year, wins over Gauff and Sund, and the endorsement of legends like Djokovic, the experts are not going off for no reason. They are going off because the evidence is right there in front of them. Alexa has everything she needs to make Madrid 2026 her tournament. The conditions are set. The momentum is building and the home crowds in Spain are going to be rooting for her every step of the way. Do not sleep on her. The experts certainly are not. So, we want to hear from you because this conversation is just getting started. Do you think Alexa can make a deep run at the Madrid Open 2026? How far do you see her going in the tournament? Can she get past Mertens in the second round? And if she does, how many rounds do you think she can clear from there? Do you believe the home court advantage of playing in Spain will actually make a visible difference in her performance? Or is that factor being overhyped? And what about the Rafael Nadal training partnership heading into a clay court tournament? Does that give her a real edge? After the wins over Gauff and Sigand and everything the experts and Djokovic have said about her, is Madrid the tournament that finally confirms Alexa as a consistent top-tier force on the WTA Tour? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.